Hello, my name is Adrian Taylor and this is the Yamaha CLP-875 which I recently purchased from Key Sound in Hinckley in Leicestershire. Two disclaimers. First one, I've not been sponsored to make this video either by Key Sound or by Yamaha. They are welcome to use it in their promotional material, but it's been made in order to help anybody who is interested in getting a digital piano and wants to know my thoughts about it. Second disclaimer is that although I do some work as a professional musician, nobody pays me to play the piano. I do get paid to play the trombone, and as a trombonist, much of my focus is on intonation and quality of sound, and it's to do with those two aspects that led me to choosing this particular piano. In researching various acoustic and digital pianos on YouTube, I came across an important piece of information, which is that the ideal instrument is the concert grand piano. But there are three inherent problems in purchasing a concert grand piano. The first one is you need a big space to put it in. I certainly couldn't put one in my lounge. Second one is because it is a large instrument, it also makes far too much sound for the average person's lounge. It's designed, of course, for being in a recital hall or concert hall. And the third, perhaps most significant, is that it's far too expensive. Everything else is a compromise. An upright piano is a compromise. The strings are shorter and put in a different orientation, as is the action. And a baby grand has much shorter strings, so there's far less resonance. Acoustic pianos, of course, have an inherent issue of going out of tune with fluctuations in temperature and humidity, and you have to get a professional tuner in every 6 months or so in order to retain the instrument's pitch. Digital pianos don't have this as an issue. The pitch remains the same because of the technology. But the compromise with digital pianos has always been that they neither feel or sound like the authentic instrument. Now, however, with advances in processing power of the computer chips, I think we've got so much closer to the real instrument that the compromise is perhaps less on a digital piano than it is in buying a baby grand or an upright. The default sound is Yamaha's CFX Concert Grand Piano. But Yamaha have also sampled the Bosendorfer piano, and this is a very different sound to Yamaha's CFX, and I think actually for this piece actually a nicer sound. Two amazing pianos, each about £150,000, all contained within this instrument. With both those sample sounds, Yamaha have also done something rather clever for when you put headphones on. They've resampled them with microphones placed where your ears are. So what you hear with the headphones on, which I can't demonstrate through this YouTube video, is the sound emanating from the piano. Normally, it would just be the sound that's coming out of the speakers just going through your ears, and you can hear the difference when you then go on to one of the other sounds on the piano, because this has a lot more than just those two. So This next one, just an upright piano, for example, that when you've got headphones on feels very different. It's a very different experience. The theory is that with those other two sampled sounds, binaural sampling gives you far less ear fatigue, so you can practice for longer. This is the upright piano sound. There's a whole load of other sounds as well, including electric piano sounds like the famous DX sound. Even though I wasn't really that interested in the other sounds this piano can make, I do find myself practicing the same bit of music, hearing it with different instruments. Therefore I'm practicing for longer and therefore I'm improving. And if a child's doing that and playing for longer because they're exploring the different sounds of the instruments, that can only be a good thing, can't it? You can also have dual sounds. This is the Yamaha CFX piano sound with a synth pad. Another thing that attracted me to getting this instrument was the string resonance that you would get on an acoustic piano, which has been replicated digitally. So for example, if I very gently push down this D so it doesn't make a sound, and the same with this one, then the strings of a real piano on those two Ds would be free to vibrate. If I then hit a D major chord, then you can hear the overtones of those strings resonating. That's what would happen on a real piano. The upside of that is that if you push down the sustaining pedal, so all the strings are free to vibrate, hit a great big D major chord, you're getting a much more resonant sound from the instrument as the other strings are free to vibrate, even though there are no strings. One of the things I really love about a concert grand piano is the richness in sound of its lower notes. This they've been able to replicate here on this Yamaha piano. The most important thing for me in buying this piano was that it sounded and felt like playing a proper acoustic piano. And I think the 800 series and this 875 does that superbly well. You can also connect either via Bluetooth or using an auxiliary lead to your tablet or other devices to play music through it. To find out more about the Yamaha CLP-875, I would strongly recommend you visiting your local piano shop and trying them out. You really need to try it out for yourself to get the feel of it, because you can't describe that properly over YouTube video, and to really fully appreciate the sound quality. Just to finish this video on this wonderful instrument, here's a brief skim through the demos.